Simeon Rice is announcing the pick, and with the 53rd pick in round number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have gone ahead and selected, here we go, Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame. So no Mike Green was selected, no Siobhan Revel was selected. It is Benjamin Morrison, was the 32nd ranked player on Pro Football Focus's big board, Evan. Listen to this. A coverage grade of 68.4, run defense grade of 76.7, zone coverage grade of 67.4, allowed a 44.4 completion percentage when targeted. He played at Notre Dame, very big school. Obviously, they played in the national championship as well. Comes in at 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Apparently, is a little bit more tailored to a man coverage system, but can really
Yes.
fit in any system here.
So
So,
obviously, big thing here. Cornerback with a hip injury, missed 10 games last year due to that hip injury. Hips are very important to cornerbacks. You have to turn your hips to run. But look, the Bucs wanted a ball hawk, right? And Benjamin Morrison is definitely that. I believe, has had, I believe, yeah, 2022, they're showing it now, 6 interceptions in 2022. Talented player. Probably a guy who I think if he was healthy and played the full year, probably a first round pick. So Bucks, taking a risk here for sure, but I think it's one that could very well pay off. If he's healthy and if that hip doesn't really affect him, I think it's one that he could definitely pay off. I mean, 9 interceptions in 3 years for Benjamin Morrison, so pretty good.
I think people are going to like this pick, personally. Again, I know like some people may have wanted Trey Amos or Siobhan Revel, but they do go with a cornerback here. Like you said, I think it's a fine pick. I think to start off, he is probably going to be your cornerback 3 outside corner because he has very little experience in the slot. He never played in the slot very
Yeah,
much at the collegiate level. So he's going to be your outside cornerback 3 to start
a
behind.
499 super chat by Ariel Scott.
There we
Pick
go.
199 predictions.
We'll get to
Uh,
that in a second here, but just to finish my thoughts on Benjamin Morrison. Um, again, um, a guy who is going to be that cornerback 3 to start behind Zion McCollum, behind Jamel Dean. And we talked about this. We talked about wide receiver injuries last year, Evan, and why that Emeka Ibuka pick made sense. The same thing can be said for Benjamin Morrison. Now, hopefully that hip is better and he's able to get back healthy. Obviously, the Bucs feel pretty good about him recovering from that hip
mhm.
injury. And overall, I think this is a solid pick. Like you said, if he was healthy, he probably would have been a first round pick. The fact that even with the hip injury, he was 32nd on Pro Football Focus's big board, you gotta like that. You do.
Yeah.
And they still need some help at inside linebacker. Maybe that means Chris Paul Jr. in the next round. Maybe if he isn't available, maybe you go an edge defender or something along those lines in round number 3. But they do get some help at cornerback here, which is very important, and I think that is
Yeah.
a good thing. What are your final thoughts on Benjamin Morrison here?
Yeah, obviously, I think the fit there with the Bucks, it makes sense. They need a corner. Like you mentioned, I don't think he's gonna be like the starter right away, especially, Jamel Dean's still on the roster, Zion McCollum's still here, but Benjamin Morrison, I think that's a good thing, right? The Buccaneers can maybe ease him along a little bit with that hip injury, sort of not have to throw him to the wolves per se. And I think that could ultimately benefit him. So I do think it's a solid pick.
Right on. Well, there you go. Benjamin Morrison, the newest Tampa Bay Buccaneer, adds some very much needed depth at that cornerback position, man. So good stuff.